Alright, how's it going? My name is Thomas. Today we're going to talk about half moon pose, the physical qualities of half moon pose. Ardha Chandrasana. Starting with the feet, literal connection to the ground, the earth, toes and heels together, distributing weight evenly through both feet, maybe not too far forward into your toes, not too far back into your heels. As long as your feet are together, your legs will be as together as you need them to be. And then working your way up to the hips. From here on out, your hips should be forward towards the front of the room, because this is a side bend, so you don't want to be kind of keeled over, dumping through your hips, your shoulders. You want to be nice and square towards the front of the room, so you get more of a side bend rather than a rounding through your spine or a backward bend. Your hips are going to set you up for that. Feet to the floor, hips square towards the front of the room, shoulders square towards the front of the room. And then working way up to our hands. Palms are together. Another foundational aspect. So feet together, palms together. Palms together, feet together, insides of your hands together. That's where your palms are. And you'll have a tendency to pull the insides of your hands out to the sides. You want to make sure your palms are together. If that was very challenging for you to straighten your arms and elbows and keeping your palms together, maybe just staying there, squeezing your triceps, keeping your palms together, maybe even lifting up a little bit to lengthen your side body, your lats, your latissimus dorsi, okay, and reaching up and out of your waist, and just staying there. Lifting up, inhale, and coming down. Lifting up. This is not necessarily a shrugging of your shoulders. You don't necessarily want your shoulders to be squeezed together. You just kind of want to, you're going to have a slight engagement of your shoulders, but maybe not focusing, maybe not making that the focal point. I would concentrate more on palms together, straightening your arms and lifting up and out of your waist. Lifting up and out of your waist. And once you have that, then moving on to the next stage. At this point, maybe making sure your chin is not too tucked in. This will bring some roundness to your neck, and that will have a tendency to round to your back. So keeping your chin facing forward, maybe even a slight untucking of your chin, just ever so slightly, not necessarily looking all the way up or backward bending to your neck. Just a little slight chin up, kid, chin up. Don't be so down. Okay. So that brings us to the form, even before the side bend. So your palms are together, your arms are straight. Sometimes I even like to bring my biceps a little bit behind my ears, a little encouragement, a little dynamic stretching. So you're kind of like bring your arms back, then kind of resetting, coming back to somewhat normal. You don't necessarily want your arms too far forward. So even if this is a challenge for you, I would even stay right there. Just work on that. Again, one aspect at a time, not trying to do everything all at once. This is basically science, one variable at a time, and then moving on to the next stage, and working on the next thing at a time, and then the next thing at a time, and the next thing at a time. Okay, so getting into the actual action of the posture. So you're going to take an inhale, lift up and out of your waist, and regardless of the bind or the version of yoga posture that you're taking, hands together, interlaced, technically for the grip, you're going to make some finger guns. So you're going to interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, and cross your thumbs, or palms together. This is a little more shoulder strengthening, because you kind of necessarily have to press your palms together a little bit to keep your palms together. You don't have that grip strength to rely on. So you're going to lift up and out of your waist, palms together. Inhale, and exhale up and over to the right. You're going to side bend. So this is going to be lengthening through your left side body. You're going to want to come back to the foundations of the posture at this point. Are your feet still together? You're going to have a tendency to want to lift your left heel, your left foot up off the ground. Even slightly distributing weight a little bit back into your heels so you're not leaning forward into your toes. And shoulders, hips still square towards the front of the room. That's why we start with hips and shoulders square towards the front of the room. So we go into it. We kind of pull ourselves out of it a little bit. You're going to kind of like readjust. There's going to be a tendency to like round your left shoulder forward. If you notice this, maybe you're rolling your left shoulder back, then re-engaging your straight arms, palms together, and you're going to notice a lot of wacky things with your neck and head. You're going to want to tuck your chin, or maybe look up, or look up to the side, look up towards the ceiling. You kind of want your head facing forward. So your spine, from your neck and head down, is going to be rounded. This is a very round posture. This is a very round posture. Not very angular. It's called half moon pose. You're going to make that big arch with your body. Put a picture somewhere up here. demonstrate said posture. So shoulders, hips square towards the front of the room, maybe even toes pointing towards the front of the room, heels onto the ground, left foot still onto the floor. You're not even coming into the final form or the biggest stretch possible. You're just kind of reassessing the foundations. You may be feeling this with your left hip, your left side obliques, your left side lat, your shoulder, your arms, maybe everywhere. That's okay. Just kind of, before you make it more of an extreme feeling, you want to feel what you're feeling when it's not so extreme, because you're going to be able to notice more. Your whole body's not yelling at you. So you're up in a side bend. Your arms are straight, your palms are together, your form is so perfect. And the teacher's saying, oh my God, so good, so nice. Okay, just breathe. And it's going to be harder to breathe when you come into your end ranges of motion. So even before the feet, before the physical, you want to make sure that your breath is maintained. You're not hyperventilating. You're taking consistent breaths, even though it may be a shortened breath, but still as consistent as possible. You're kind of taking yourself out of that fight, flight, or freeze, like. So you're breathing as calm as possible, maybe ideally even someday through your nose, but that's okay. You can breathe through your mouth. All those mouth breathers out there, I know, I'm one of them. Okay, so palms together. Inhale, lifting up and out of your waist. Exhale, up and over to the right. And through every physical posture, through every physical exercise, it's always exhaling through exertion. So maybe at the very last moments of the posture, a long inhale and a long exhale, and exerting yourself, reaching out to the right. As you come into the final form, or the final moments of any posture, any exercise, when you reach your limits, the form is kind of going to go out the window. It's going to get a little crappy, and that is okay. It's pretty natural. That's why I put so much stress on setting the form, going into the action, setting the form again, and then once you start going into the final moments of the posture, your biggest side bend that you're not going to be holding for that long, most likely, the form's kind of going to get a little bad, but you're going to be set. But you're already going to be set up for success, and the form is going to be good enough to where you're not going to injure yourself. You're going to be taking it slow enough to where you're already safe. Form over depth always. Breathing consistently the whole time. You'll have a great practice. You'll make that little progress, one practice, one move, one feeling, one action at a time. Alright. Have a good one. See you later.